Like, this is the moment this is what you want to be in right now. Game on the line. You got a chance to make the big stop, man, to win this game. And Hutch goes out there and makes the sack fumble of his life for a safety. I mean, that to me those are the moments, man, we're built for. Like, that's how we have to think. And I mean, that was what it felt like when they took the field. Is, this is why you play this game at this level, is for moments just like that. It was awesome.
And that was Dan Campbell after the win yesterday, a 29-24 win over the Chicago Bears. 31-26. Why did I think 29-24?
I have no idea.
Let me start that over. A 31-26
there you go.
final. Oh yeah, I'm looking right at it. I got my box. I got my box score. I got all my papers. I got my game notes highlighted and everything. I got everything. Yeah, 31-26. I have no idea why I thought that. But look, he talked about Aiden Hutchinson there at the end too. About this is the moment we're made for, because look, Chicago had the ball, they had a timeout, and they had all they needed was a field goal. So somebody had to make a play, and Aiden Hutchinson finally made a play. And again, with him, you talk about maybe a lack of push up front in the middle of the defensive line. When an offensive coordinator makes his weekly game plan for the Detroit Lions, who's the one guy on the Detroit Lions defense that coordinator is planning to neutralize?
97.
The entire offensive game plan is with the thought of, it starts with how do we neutralize 97. And they're doing a good job of that. This time, Hutchinson made a play. And by the way, just Aiden Hutchinson, numbers on him, quickest player in NFL history to accumulate 15 sacks, 4 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries. It needed only 27 games to do so. Brian Urlacher, the Hall of Fame linebacker from the Chicago Bears, had the previous record, 34 games to hit those totals. Pretty darn good.
Did you hear what Orlovsky said about after the win? Orlovsky went on Twitter and wrote a little something on Aiden Hutchinson, how lucky the Lions were that he fell to number 2, because he's the best player by far of those guys that you were talking about, Thibodeau, him, and whoever the hell.
Walker.
Exactly.
Trayvon Walker.
Is it Trayvon Walker?
Trayvon Walker.
Yeah. Look how lucky.
Right.
Look how lucky.
You couldn't even think of his name, and I couldn't either.
No.
Yeah, it's Trayvon Walker. Obviously, Jacksonville they run the wrong defense for Trayvon Walker. It's not allowing him to have success. But even with that, he doesn't possess what Aiden possesses in terms of he played tight end, the cachet, the interceptions, his hands, his athletic ability, his acumen to play the game. I believe Aiden Hutchinson is a better player, and thank God that Urban Meyer was the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, because we knew that was O State versus Michigan. You want to see Aiden get to the quarterback and get some more sacks. You want to see Aiden dominate in that way. But let's not talk about that for right now. Let's just talk about the presence of mind to having a game, maybe not your best, not getting to where you want to be. Aiden wants to get to the quarterback. Aiden's not getting to the quarterback for lack of effort. It's not lack of effort. It's definitely being schemed. So he's always close. He's right there. But to be close, to be right there a whole game, and then in the last play of the game, well, for you, the last play of the game, you're still clawing, you're still fighting, and you get a sack, strip fumble to win the game, and then you punt the ball. I don't even think it ever came down. If it did, it landed on Belle Isle. Like, that's the type of guys you want. You said the same thing for Jared Goff. Jared Goff, ugly game. But when it mattered, he was there. Aiden Hutchinson, he didn't get to the quarterback. But when it mattered, he made the play that mattered most for the Detroit Lions and winning this game. There's some things they can clean up. But one is not mental toughness. One is mental toughness they do not have to worry about. They have that in spades, and the Lions will get going. Everybody has a couple games like that. I mean, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they lost to the Jets. I would take the Chicago Bears right now over that New York Jets team any day of the week.
Just beat both Super Bowl teams.
They did.
Unbelievable.
And that's what happens. You
got 4 wins.
You get in these games sometimes, man, and you for whatever happens, it does not go your way, but you find a way to win if you're the good team. And Detroit Lions yesterday, they found a way to win. This is one of those games you'll watch why you got in those bad spots. You'll watch how Justin Fields out-leveraged the offense all day long in the first half, and that's why they had success. They'll watch that. They'll get better at that. But you know what? They won. That mental toughness, that's what you want. That's where you want to be battle-tested in the playoffs. You got to have that mental toughness, and they show you they already have it.
I didn't think the Bears I don't think they need a quarterback. I think Justin Fields can quarterback this team. I think he is a good NFL quarterback that does not have a hell of a lot to work with. That's, I'm not going to talk about the Bears. I know no one wants to talk about the Bears, but what's your thoughts on that kid?
Well, he definitely played a hell of a game yesterday. I mean, it looked like he was competent. He missed 2 deep throws, which Lions were very thankful. Whether they were wrong, bad, they missed them. Yeah. They did not connect on a couple of deep throws. Now, whose fault those were, whatever, quarterback, wide receiver, they missed them. Those are throws that you miss too many of those in the NFL. You give teams a chance to hang around.
No, for sure.
But he played a really good game. And, again, I think the Lions defensively, them and a lot of other teams have a hard time shutting down running quarterbacks.
It's just like Michigan. Michigan's Achilles heel my whole life has been running quarterbacks, whether it was Cordell Stewart, whether it was Donovan McNabb, whether it was insert Ohio State quarterback here. They've struggled with running quarterbacks. It just is what it is. To answer your question, Maz, I think he's done himself a favor. The last 3 games, even if you go back to the 2 before he got injured, have been his best 3 to 4 game window, period. Justin Fields played himself yesterday, and we'll see what happens the rest of the season, into maybe a first-round pick is what you can get for him at the end of the year if you're the Chicago Bears. I don't think he'll be a Bear. They'll bring a new system in. They'll try to get, Caleb or one of those guys. But to your point, I think Justin Fields can now go for a number 1 pick to another team, and he's definitely somebody's starting quarterback.
Agreed.
I agree with you on that.
But again, in 2, not to talk about the Bears a lot, but a lot of this is how you build a team.
Right.
If you have a new general manager and a new head coach, you know what you want?
Your quarterback.
5 years, though.
Yeah,
you want
true.
5 years of team control of that quarterback. You're not going to go, if you keep Justin Fields, you got to pay him after next year?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you lose these rookies after the rookie deal. You want to start that clock on a 5-year deal. I want to talk about Jameson Williams, if I could, for a second, because this kid's been great. And he might not have the stats. He might not be lighting up the scoreboard or his box score. But this kid is playing winning football. And that was a huge grab in the end zone on the touchdown when he did it as well, because he drops that pass. If they don't connect there, then maybe that comeback doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. You were able to come back because you had all the time. You never know what happens. It could be a fumbled snap, anything, any number of things can happen. So he's been playing really good football. He's blocking out there. He made a first down grab as well, clutch first down grab, and he scored a touchdown. And he's fun to watch, and he loves being with this team, and I'm becoming a huge fan of his.
Yeah, he's one of those situations, man. One of the biggest things I kept saying when he was here, and it was the injury when he first got drafted, and it was all the stuff in the offseason. It's like, give this guy time. I was like, let's not forget what this guy was at Alabama. Don't forget why they moved up to draft him. Don't forget the interview process and when Brad Holmes had to sit down with Jameson Williams to find out what type of guy he was before he even got here, man. Just give him a second. He's still young. Once he figures things out. The best thing that he showed us was effort. The best thing that he showed the fan base and the Detroit Lions and his teammates, he's shown effort. Even when he couldn't catch passes or when he was inconsistent, let's say like that, and catching passes, he was blocking for his running backs. He was getting down the field for Jahmyr Gibbs. He got down the field for David Montgomery last week. With that, when you're watching that effort, when you're watching the guy stay the course, when you're watching the guy having fun, being a part of the team, you're like, it's only a matter of time before it starts to click. Let's not forget who Jameson Williams was. Let's not forget those 1,500 yards. Let's not forget those feet we see during the week when we get those videos from our brother Matt Broder. What's up, Matt Broder? Let's not forget those videos we see. This guy can play. This guy stays the course. And now you're starting to see him have some fun. There's nothing like being a part of success. There's nothing like knowing that you are one of the reasons why someone or something is doing well. And I think that's where he's at right now. And it's only going to get better and better because now Ben, i.e. Jared, has faith or confidence. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, and there's continuing to build to that trust. Here's J-Mo. Speaking of Matt Broder, this is from Matt Broder. On J-Mo, talking about the sideline vibe. He's talking about the team.
The way down the stretch.
We knew we were still in the game. We knew it wasn't over. Everybody on the sideline dapping each other up and keeping each other up because we know we finna get this ball back. Our defense finna give us this ball back. We finna go score. And we finna do it again. And that's what we just did. So I think having that mindset on the sideline helped us a little bit go out there and really do it.
Hey guys, well, you know how I feel about this kid. You know, he's won me over. But yesterday on the post-game show with Stick, myself, and we had Anson. Anson is on the effect that he believes when you drafted this kid, 12th, moved up to get him. If you look at his body of work over as long as he's been here, the 2 years, including the redshirt year, basically, he still puts him in. He's around bust territory. And Stick and I argued probably way too long we spent on this. And the way the kid's playing now, I don't even think that word comes into my mind. It doesn't. But if you look at all his numbers and what he's done here and the way they drafted him, it doesn't look good for the Lions. They don't use him a lot. Let's face it. They're not using him a lot. They're just using him in spot duty. I don't want this guy who was the 12th overall pick last year to be just a home run hitter. He's got to be your number 1A receiver to really make that pick count. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't say you're wrong. I just say it's not time to talk about that right now. Like, I don't think now is the time to talk about whether the Jameson Williams pick moving up 20 is the right pick right now. The biggest thing right now is Amon-Ra St. Brown is a number 1 NFL wide receiver. Sam Laporta, when the hell they can find Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta was operating as a number 1 tight end in the NFL. You got David Montgomery and you have Jahmyr Gibbs. Right now, you look at the situation. Last year, Jameson Williams was only allowed to play how many games, Ryan? 3, 4. Season's over. Can't really get into a groove. Come into this season. Now he's suspended the first 6 games before obviously it became 4. But he suspended 6 games. He hasn't been in he hasn't really gotten into a rhythm to be able to find his spot. Ben Johnson hasn't been able necessarily to break the offense up to fit him in, just so you can now make it make sense that he was the 12th pick overall. Right now the offense is humping. Right now the offense is rocking and rolling with the exception of the first half of yesterday's game, but it's rocking and rolling. You're getting the running backs going. You got a 2-headed monster running back. Jared Goff was playing MVP football. You got Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Reynolds. Offense is clicking. Now you're starting to see Jameson Williams starting to come along. Follow the process, man. They're going to bring him along. It's going to get more and more and more, and then you're going to probably look at it in the playoffs, especially next season. He'll really be able to, let's say, be what you guys want him to be or think he should be next season.
Listen, I don't agree with Anson that he's a bust.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when you pick a guy at 12, I would have thought by now they'd be using him more. And I know he's breaking in little at a time, but it's very little. Ryan, I mean, you can bring up his numbers. How many times did they go to him? What did they throw? 3 balls to him? He caught 2, 1 for a touchdown?
But again,
that's not a lot.
I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off,
go for it.
It's just the offense. Like, man, this offense has been, I don't want to say elite, but this offense has been efficient at a high level since last year, even when they weren't good. Like, they were averaging the most points in the NFL the first 4 games of the season before Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams has only been available, Maz, for what are they right now? It's 8-2, 10 games, 6 plus 3 last year. 9 games is what he's been available for so far. So I think it's still a process. If the Lions' offense wasn't as good as it is, if it wasn't as efficient,
then we could complain.
Then I think we could complain, because then you're like, all right. Like,
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Can I just say this too about Jameson Williams? This kid almost missed 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think what you see a snap count go up. You see his trust factor with Goff going up. I mean, Goff connected with him on a 3rd down pass. Needed to keep the drive
2
going.
weeks in a row, too.
He drops that. He doesn't go back. I mean, there's so many different things. So he's learning. And yes, you want everybody to come in and be Justin Jefferson. I understand that.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works. I mean, remember, I think this is because of social media. We want to label people right now. Yeah. Matthew Stafford didn't even play football for 2 years. His first 2 years, he was injury prone. Season-ending injury his rookie year. Season-ending injury his second year. And never missed another game after that. Yeah. I mean, guys do get it. This kid is 20 years old. Is he 21 now? Is he allowed to drink a beer? You know what I mean? 21 now. And oh, by the way, you know what he did after the game yesterday?
Yeah, he gave
out turkeys
Yep.
too. You know, I mean, everybody
I love
makes a
him.
big deal that he's at McDonald's with ice cream or he's lighting off fireworks. How about we give him a
That
little
McDonald's sandwich look nasty.
It was nasty, but how about we give him a little credit too?
Some down
Because
south.
I was one of those guys that jumped all over him too,
Yeah.
and boy, was I wrong about that kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I love Jamison Williams. He's going to be a player for this football team, and he does what the offense needs him to do.
Yeah.
All 3 of his touchdowns come from 30 yards or more out. You know, there's not too many players on this team. Every touchdown they score is outside the red zone. You know, I mean, that's not. That guy stretches the field. So a little love for JMO on this Victory Monday.
They're taking some shots too. I mean, you see, he took the shot down the field with him too.
He's got my love.
On the deep
I'm just
left
bringing
side,
up. I'm just bringing up what Anson said yesterday, and the numbers.
Well, I'm
are
glad
there.
you did because, look, a lot of people, Jamison Williams, right, wrong, or indifferent, seems to be one of the biggest lightning
He's a
rod
lightning rod,
topics
yeah.
in our city right
You
now.
gotta watch. You gotta watch talking to those Michigan State people. They always troll in some situations.